Better tech tips now. Students rely on technology today, well, more than ever, especially the millions of high school grads who are heading off to college and other adventures this coming fall. Geek Squad agent Derek Meister is here to share advice for protecting those valuable devices and avoiding some common back-to-school tech glitches. Derek, great to see you. Let's start with tech security. Why is it so important for students to protect their gear?
Well, it's important because this is really an investment that you've made, and not really just in the hardware itself that we want to protect, but also the data that's on there. So your personal files, your financial information, that 10-page paper that's due this Friday, that's really the most valuable thing that's on your computers. And we do have 3 great tips to go ahead and protect that. The first, of course, is that when you are setting up your brand new device, make sure you're putting a very strong password on there. That's going to protect access to the data that's on your system in case it gets lost or misplaced. The second thing you're going to do is go ahead and have a very strong security suite on there. So we mean by that is antivirus, anti-spyware. That's going to protect from any of outside internet malicious software that might try to get onto your system and eat your files. The third thing on there is that you do want to back up repeatedly and often on that in terms of your data. So, for example, either an external USB hard drive or backing up to the cloud. That way, again, your data is accessible regardless of what's going on with your computer.
That is very important, backing up. I can remember the first time I saw one of my roommates cry. He stayed up all weekend writing this big term paper, and he went to save it, and the computer crashed, and he did not have a backup. So that is exceptionally important. Let's talk about the devices themselves. Obviously, they are very expensive, or can be. So what is your advice for buying smart and saving a little money?
Yeah, there's a lot of technology that's out there, but for most people, what I recommend is to specifically look at 2 devices. That's your laptop and a good printer. Those are going to be really your base that you can build on and decide what you're going to need later in the school year. When you are looking at your laptop, you are going to consider not just your personal preferences, but also the kind of schoolwork that you're going to be doing. So, for example, if you're going for an engineering degree, or maybe you're going to be editing a lot of videos, things that are going to need a more powerful computer, you may want to look at one that has, for example, an Intel i7 processor. On the other hand, if you are doing more general coursework, you can get away with a more basic computer that's designed for, editing documents, getting onto the web to research things, sending those emails. The great thing is that regardless of the actual device that you're looking at, if you visit us at bestbuy.com/studentdeals, you can sign up to get discounts on the perfect device for the perfect school year.
That is good to hear. What about tech troubleshooting? Is there kind of a first aid kit that students should have with them?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we encounter is that a lot of students, they're going to be away from the dorm room for most of their day, and it's not uncommon for them to accidentally forget or lose a power cable, a USB cable, audio cable, whatever. I always recommend before you send them off to school, make sure they have duplicates of everything. So one set of cables that they're going to keep in the dorm room, and then another set they're going to keep in that book bag. So, when it's just before that important class, their laptop is not going to lose power. The other thing that we're going to talk about, obviously, again, backing up that data, just like you said, you want to make sure that you have that either externally or maybe even just a USB flash drive that you're backing up regularly. Again, that's just so important for all of that work that you're putting into your schoolwork. And then finally, just a really good little device that I recommend is one of those Bluetooth smart trackers. These are little devices like, for example, the Tile app that you attach to your keys, your book bag, anything that you could lose. And it uses that Bluetooth for you to be able to search for that device in your room using the smartphone app. So, for example, you have you're 15 minutes away from your class and you have your keys in that pair of jeans that's in that big pile of laundry you were meaning to do this week. You can very easily find them with that app.
That sounds great. Derek from Geek Squad, we appreciate your time. Good advice. Thanks.